What's going on, Packers Nation? Welcome back to another video of Packers Latest. I am your host, Taylor Bretl, keeping you up to date on the latest news on the green and gold Green Bay Packers. A happy Thursday to all of you watching out there, and a huge shout out to Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring this video. If you want to sign up for Underdog, you can scan that QR code right up there. When you play your first $5, you can win $75 in bonus entries with code FOOTBALLFANS, so you don't want to miss out on that. On today's episode, we got lots of talks. It's kind of one point bouncing off another, kind of going four different directions, but also staying in the same pool. We're going to start it off talking about news about Quay Walker. Then possibly could the Packers be looking at, looking to fill that kicker position? Is Brandon McManus not the answer? Could they reach for a name as big as Brandon Aubrey? Who knows? Then we're going to talk about a guy that's re-signed with the Packers and running back Chris Brooks. And I'm going to wrap it up with some news actually about the Chicago Bears. So yeah, let's start this one off talking about Quay Walker. This is definitely a big name among the huge pool of players that are free agents for the Packers this offseason. Quay Walker, one amongst the group, the captain for the Green Bay Packers, a very solid linebacker. He has definitely had his presence felt in Green Bay, starting from his rookie season and his earlier years, having, some behavioral issues, but you still saw the raw talent there. This most recent season, played rather well, did get hurt a little bit, kind of struggled staying on the field, but still nonetheless, he wears that captain patch for a reason for the Green Bay Packers, but he could no longer be wearing that. Quay Walker, there's a lot of speculation here on if he'd be back. This is per Football Forever on X speaking on it, saying the Packers are preparing for team captain linebacker Quay Walker to depart in free agency, per Tom Silverstein. It says the Packers reportedly gauged the linebacker market during the scouting combine with the assumption that Walker won't return. So the Packers kind of looking at, we don't really expect to have him back. I'd obviously love to have him back, but the Packers and how they're kind of dealing with their scouting and everything is looking at how to replace him. An interesting thing as well, as you see what it says on the bottom here. You go to Quay Walker's Instagram. He now has just 4 posts that are left up, all from his days at Georgia, where he played in college, and there is nothing tied to the Packers there. His profile picture might still be him in a Green Bay uniform. I kind of forget because I think it's a black and white photo, but nonetheless, the 4 posts left on his main Instagram are all related to Georgia. Dov Kleeman kind of talked about this on X, saying star linebacker Quay Walker has deleted everything Packers from his Instagram just days before free agency. Walker is projected to get around $8 million per season. And then also, I thought this was an interesting post from Titletown Talks on X. Kind of makes you look back at Quay Walker, how he viewed the Packers. And, it's going to be a name that you're going to miss if he's no longer wearing green and gold because he kept it real. This is from Quay Walker in his final game interview following the loss of the Bears. In quotes, it says, "We didn't execute. That's been a problem for us. Even before I got here, I feel like that's always been a part of this organization." At the end of this post on Titletown Talks, it says, "Quay Walker didn't fear holding back. He was honest. When he leaves, he will turn into a player we miss." So yeah, you hear Quay Walker say that. Feels like it's always been a problem in this organization, and I can't really read that and say that he's wrong. He knows, and it's been a problem since he entered and before he entered, like he touched on as well, not being able to execute in the playoffs. So will it be unfortunate if those are the last words that Quay Walker says related to the Packers while on the team? Yes. Will I be sad that he could be gone? Yes. Will I be shocked if he's gone? No. It's just, this is how free agency works. The Packers got to kind of pick and choose who they want to keep. Definitely will be a shocking and a big gutted move if you lose your captain of your defense. But the Packers, it's kind of a pick your poison type thing. Who do you want to keep and who are you going to be fine letting go? There's already a lot of other big names. I think Rasheed Walker will be out of there. He had an all right season, and for what his value is projected to be, I do not expect the Packers to bring him back. I think Elton Jenkins could get cut. Rashawn Gary could get cut. Romeo Doubs will probably be elsewhere. It's going to be a lot of names gone for Green Bay. It's going to be a new look team next season, more than people may think. So yeah, that's all I got on Quay Walker. It's very interesting to see. It is unfortunate how this is all unfolding because definitely really did like Quay, especially when he got the on-field issues fixed and kind of just was a good player. And, you always see Matt LaFleur say be smart. Lots of that was towards guys like Quay Walker, and Walker seemed to fix those problems in his last 2 years in Green Bay. But it will be sad if he's no longer with the Packers. It's going to take me to the next point, though. Let's look at a guy that maybe could be joining the Packers. This is way more speculation, in my opinion, than something that could actually happen. But could Green Bay be a sneaky destination for Cowboys kicker Brandon Aubrey? After how the Packers have lost the playoffs the last 2 seasons, you will take anyone that can kick it through the uprights, and Brandon Aubrey is one of, if not the best at doing that. So there's just speculation on this. This is not really an official report. Easton Butler on X put this out saying there's a free agency leak. It says the Packers were reportedly in contact with kicker Brandon Aubrey's reps per source. Aubrey is expected to command the largest deal for a kicker in NFL history, and with his reps also at the combine, he could be kicking somewhere other than Jerry's World in 2026. So again, this is just kind of one post that, you see words like that, you see Packers, you see Aubrey, you see all those keywords tying together, and it gets big on social media. That's kind of how it works. So again, to say it for the third time, it's a lot of speculation. I mean, this just says per source. Who knows what that source is? But it always gets the gears turning when you see something like this could happen. So Brandon Aubrey did just finish his 3-year contract with the Dallas Cowboys, but he is a restricted free agent. He's not an unrestricted free agent, which also makes this interesting. I found a pretty good definition of what a restricted free agent is, because I kind of want to share this with you, because I always like reading back on this and, lining up, kind of understanding how all of this works, because I know it can get really confusing. So Aubrey is a restricted free agent, and a good definition I found here from Pro Football Focus was saying a restricted free agent is a player who has completed a 3-year contract with their current team and is now eligible for free agency. However, they are still tied to their original team due to certain rights that give that team an advantage in retaining them. This status allows the team to match any offer sheet the player signs with another team, or to receive draft pick compensation if another team wants to sign the player. When a restricted free agent receives an offer sheet from a different team, the original team is given a specific period to decide whether to match the offer and retain the player under the same terms. If the original team matches, the player remains with that team. If not, the player moves to the new team under the contract terms outlined in the offer sheet. So I know that was a mouthful, but this is why I always like reading the definition for more than myself. It's to you guys as well. I know you watching might already know that, but I always like to share because I know this can get very confusing. Sometimes people just pool free agents all as one category, but being a restricted versus an unrestricted free agent, two totally different stories. So taking a look at Brandon Aubrey's stats in 2025, I mean, seriously, in my opinion, the best kicker in the NFL. The one thing that's a con about these numbers is you see he's only 85.7% on field goals. He was 36 of 42. But then when you see what he's attempting, I think that percentage, like, you don't even look at the percentage because he's attempting the most from 50 plus. So, of course the percentage is going to be lower because he's attempting way more harder kicks that some guys can't even walk out there and attempt. So again, you look at this, 36 of 42 on the season. From 20 to 29, a perfect 10 for 10. From 30 to 39, a perfect 5 for 5. From 40 to 49, a perfect 10 for 10. And then 50 plus, he was 11 of 17, with his longest field goal this season being 64 yards. Don't get me wrong, I know he plays in a dome. You don't have weather factoring it, but half your games, or depending on where they played on the road, about half your games are going to be outside as well, and he has still had success there. On extra points, he was 47 for 48 as well. So Brandon Aubrey, in my opinion, the best kicker in the league, would be a very intriguing name for the Packers with how their last 2 seasons have ended in the playoffs. I mean, you just watch. We can even say the last 3. Go back to that 49ers game with Carlson missing that field goal late in the fourth quarter. I mean, it's just year in and year out. You have 2 different kickers over 3 years, and they're costing you in the playoffs. That game against the Eagles, that 22-10 loss, don't blame it on a kicker too much, but this one against the Chicago Bears and the one in 2023 against the 49ers, yeah, those 2 definitely sting. But I'm going to keep, my hopes up for Aubrey. He could cost a pretty penny, though, and with how the Packers are sitting money-wise, definitely unlikely, but still feel like the Packers could be looking for a kicker, even though you have signed McManus, because I can't watch another season end the way it did. But that's going to take me into today's sponsor for this video. I have to give a huge shout out to Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring the video. Fast breaks, buzzer beaters, and block parties are back, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite player will go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. Get your picks right, and you can up to 5,000 times your cash. So today on Underdog, why not? We'll stay in the city of Dallas talking about Brandon Aubrey. I'll take a look at this Dallas Mavericks and Orlando Magic game, and I'll select Cooper Flagg to go higher than 18.5 points. He has missed his last couple of games. He is questionable for tonight's game, expected to play, but still not too much out on that. So if he plays, I have higher than 18.5 points. So what are you waiting for? Download the app today and use promo code FOOTBALLFAN to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code FOOTBALLFAN. Underdog. Make picks, win money.
Must be 18 plus. 19 plus in Alabama, Nebraska. 19 plus in Colorado for some games. 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia. And present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/play and get terms DFSTML for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 helpline at 1-878 or text HOMI 467-369.
I welcome you back to Packers Latest. Now let's talk about a guy that is actually going to be wearing a Packer uniform next season and the season to follow, in running back Chris Brooks, who signed a 2-year deal with the Green Bay Packers. An interesting signing, to say the least, especially seeing how this running back room is going to work out. You have Emmanuel Wilson, who seems like he will no longer be with the Green Bay Packers. That opened up a possible RB2 role behind Josh Jacobs. We talked about, could it be a 1A, 1B with Aaron Jones? Could it be something like this now? You got Chris Brooks. He was the RB3. Does he bump up to the RB2 and the Packers look for nobody? Maybe they look for someone to sit behind Brooks. Now, it is interesting to look at. I really am a big fan of Chris Brooks. He was really in there for blocking reasons. I mean, he's a very great blocker if you watch back some of his tape, but he also could contribute on the ground, and he was a receiving back, to say the least. I have some stats here. In 2025, he had 27 carries for 106 yards, but I talk about the receiving end of things, 13 receptions for 91 yards. So I do like having kind of that dynamic level play. And, the numbers may be low, but he was an RB3. So to get 27 carries and have 13 receptions as an RB3 is pretty impressive, in my opinion, to get that much time. Cheesehead TV posted about the move on X, saying the Packers are bringing back veteran running back Chris Brooks on a 2-year deal worth $4.85 million. And they touched on his game, which I 100% agree with, saying Brooks is a phenomenal pass protector and was extremely productive and reliable for the team when called upon. So seriously, like I said before, Brooks, you need him in there. He'd do what you wanted him to do. You need him to block, he'll block. You need him to receive a pass, he'll do that. You need him to run it on the ground, he'll do that. He did it 27 times. I really do like Brooks being back in a very cheap deal, 2 years, $4.85 million. Will he be the RB2, or will the Packers still look for an RB2 and make Brooks the RB3 and really have him in there for blocking? Not sure. That'll be something to monitor. They're going to have an RB3 nonetheless if they move Brooks up. So we can still have running back talks, but I want to say good for Chris Brooks with that loss to Emmanuel Wilson. I think Brooks will have more opportunities to come in the upcoming season alongside Josh Jacobs. But we've had all the Packers talk this episode. I'm going to transition into something that is very interesting in the realm of the Chicago Bears. Their center, their Pro Bowl center, might I add, Drew Dalman, is retiring from football at age 27. And this kind of came as a shock. I haven't really seen why, so I can't say why he retired. I do wish everything is the best with him, because I know guys that retire early, sometimes they just, you can't take it anymore. Maybe you're getting injured a little bit and you just want to be safe for your body, safe for your health. And I always respect those decisions, even when people are shocked by it, saying, oh, you're only 27 years old. People do not understand the beating that these players take. So per Adam Schefter on X, he had the official release on this, saying, ESPN sources, Bears Pro Bowl center Drew Dalman has informed the team that he is retiring from the NFL at age 29. Dalman left Stanford in 2021, and after 4 seasons in Atlanta and 1 in Chicago, he has made the sudden and surprising decision to retire. This season with Chicago was his first of a 3-year contract with the Bears, so he just checked off one of those years. He was supposed to be there in his age 28 and 29 season, but it seems like he is retiring. It's definitely surprising, and sometimes you see guys retire and come back as well. So who knows if something like that'll happen, but haven't really found a reason on why he would be retiring. So it is definitely something interesting to monitor. That would be a huge loss for the Chicago Bears. I mean, he is a key reason why Caleb Williams, even though he runs around in the pocket a lot and makes magical plays happen, he was a reason why that offensive line was to hold up. Kind of a shaky offensive line, but Dalman definitely the captain amongst the group, hence why he got his first career Pro Bowl selection this season. But that's all I got for today's episode of Packers Latest. There's lots to talk about. Free agency is picking up, as you guys can see. It's an exciting time of the year. I appreciate you tuning in as always, and go Pack Go.